So thank you, and thank you to say hello here. We're going to get started. Before I start, I always like to give you a recap of what we did. So if you miss our bootcamp on the first and second, don't worry about that. I have it on the replay. Um, Last class, we were talking about how to making, oops, with all my note, sorry. So we were talking about the first class, we were talking about interface, and we are talking about how to use a sweep command and making like a really basic ring band, and then we get some variation, right? I also talk about how to use a irregular band. So this is a really good section for you to watch. So we create something like this. We create something like this. We also create some intertwine kind of a look by simply just using a sweep one to get those curves. Okay. All right. So the second class that we had, which is last week, we were talking about, let's see, we're talking about how to do the stone setting, right? So in this section, I talk about, how do you get your stone file? Does everybody have good luck to do a free iJewlel? You should, because it worked on mine. So if free iJewlel doesn't work for you, that's fine. In my demo file, I also including the stone, so you should have a stone to use. So we were talking about how to size a stone, how to do the prong set, how to do the bezel set, and how to apply, the setting in the ring. So that's what we were talking about last class, right? So I hope you gain a lot of input, and sometimes sometimes I talk too much, right? So if student asks question, I always, I want to give you a lot of information. If I do, I'm sorry. But I just feel like in the jewelry design, it's not just the 3D model. It's you have to, of course, have your own aesthetic about how you like to, design stone. But if your piece is not productionable, it's just a good looking piece, right? So whenever I'm doing the 3D model, if it can be productionable, it's always my key, right? So if I have a production in mind, so my piece will definitely able to be print and able to be cast. Now, people sometimes misunderstand. I can print this for sure. Why can I cast it or set the stone? It's because from the wax or the resin to the metal, there's a gap to work on it. For the metal, when you coming out from uh, the casting, it's a little bit more like a satin finish. So you need to polish, and then when you polish, you will lose the material. When you lose the material, things getting thinner, right? So as a CAD designer, we need to calculate that back into our CAD, so we understand how much material will be waste or polish off, right? Again, that's too much talking. I want to getting into today's section. I talk a lot, and especially to my student in our master class, we have like every week we have a Q&A, and sometimes I make the video too long. Hopefully, my intention is to help. All right, so for you to understand all of them. All right, so in today's section, since we make this ring last two class, and I would like to render them, right? And if you are interested in how this being made, and then we will, you can watch the replay. But one of the things I wanted to just reinforce a little bit, the model that we are making right here, this is called production model. It's not for rendering, so you're gonna see the prong is super long, and the bezel is like higher. And the reason is we need to weight in like how much metal we need to clip off on the bench and bend the prong, and how the jewelers actually work on that. And I do have a playlist for stone setting to showing you like what happened physically. I mean, on the bench, right? For you, the bench jeweler, you probably know what I'm talking about. And so this is what we create last class, and we want to go into do the rendering. For the rendering purpose, if you do want a client, if your client don't understand why this look like porcupine, and you kind of need to explain to them, if they don't understand, you probably need to shorten the prong, right? Or round the edges or things like that, right? So those are the things that we want to keep in mind, that if your client understand this, like why the prong is like so long, right? But for today's goal is how you going to get those files. Like few things I wanna make sure that I cover it, right? We have so many things on this file, and how do we address those things before we send it out for rendering, right? So I'm going to show you what you need to prepare for your file, right? Okay. All right. So everybody have in your, let me see, in in the folder that you are download, that you have a demo file for what I have here, and also you're going to have a rendering 1 and 2, those two files. All right. So we're gonna use a rendering 1 and 2. If you are not using the Rhino 8, that's okay. Those two files in Rhino 8. And by the way, I do making a short on my channel to show you how to convert the file from the newer version to the lower or older version. So if you're using Rhino 5, for example, you're probably not able to open those two. If you do want to open, you can convert a file, but those two are the file, it's ready for rendering for today's demo. So you don't actually need to open them, right? I just opened them, just wanted to try to show you what happened from this stage and prepare your file and for the rendering purpose. All right. And after we prepare the file, we're gonna coming into the program of using iJewel, which is a completely free program, and that allow you to changing the metals and setting the environment or things like that. You can do this in few seconds. I know it's excited, but that's go back with this first, right? So we can make sure that the file that we're going to send it out, it's correct. All right. So you guys ready? All right. And also for today's questions wise, if you wanted to ask me question relate to what I am doing right now, then you can type it into the chat room, and I will leave some time at the end of this training, end of the class, and you can ask me things may not directly relate to today's demo, but in overall in jewelry industry. All right, so I'll make sure that I answer all of them. Okay. All right. So we have great. You got ready. I can see a lot of yes coming out. All right. So what we are doing right here is we creating whatever jewelry. You always, let me unlock all of, you always will have your curve, right? You have those curve, and you kind of group things together, you bowling things together. It doesn't matter like what is the ending look like. What the first things you wanted to do, let's say you have multiple ring or multiple piece that you wanted to rendering, but you only want to render this ring. So what I will suggest you is select this one, and you use the commands called export, and it will export only on the things that you select. If the things you don't select, it won't get export, right? So I'm gonna put it into my desktop, YouTube. All right, so here I'm going to see rendering test. All right, whatever name that you're going to have. and I'm going to save it there. And then the second thing I wanted to do is I need to open this file one more time. So I'm gonna come into the rendering test that I just have. And you don't have to do that. It's because I already prepared a file for you. The demo 1 and 2 is a clean file, but I just want to show you, what you need to do that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to because it was in the layer, so I'm going to just that's fine. All right. So what I'm going to do is gonna set up a few layers. Let's say I'm going to have this head and the body. If you are thinking about the head is going to be yellow gold, the body is going to be white gold, or whichever, right? So I'm going to separate them, right? First of all, let me bowling union this. So the head itself, I'm just gonna type it head here. And I'm also going to creating another layer. This is going to be stone. And oh, hold on. Okay. And then another layer, I'm going to do another layer, I'm going to do like shank. All right, so they are 3 parts, right? And for easier to understand, I'm gonna change all them in different color. So then you can, which one I'm clicking. All right. And then my goal is let's go with let's go with layer. All right. So the stone, I'm going to send it to the stone layer. So right click on the stone and I'm going to change the object layer, right? So stone is there. The head, I'm going to pick up the head and right click and change object layer, right? So that's a head, a black color. The shank, I'm going to right click on the shank and change the object layer. All right, so I have all 3 of them in different layer. The second things I wanted to do is delete anything that is hidden or any curve. So we don't need curve. We don't want a curve to show up. All right. This is really important. Even though you hide it, it will show in the rendering program. So we actually need to delete them. The best way to choose is coming into this selection tool. Then you have this one, it's called select curve. So you can select all the curve and we just hit the delete. All right, so we need this to be nice and clean. All right, so you got the shank, you got the head, you got a stone. All right, once you are done, go ahead to save this file. So we're gonna save this file. So this is a clean file. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other file, right? So you're gonna pick up everybody, you're gonna export it, and if you have a stone, they need to be all different color. So let's say I'm gonna have diamond, sapphire, ruby, whatever stone, if they are going to be different color stone, then you want to separate them by layer. So rule of thumb, if you are going to assign different material, please put them in different layer. Does that make sense to you? If it didn't make sense, type it 1 in the chat room so I know everybody is on the same page. The idea is if you are going to have them render in different material, they need to be in different layer. Okay, so you may have a question, say, PJ, what about I want this to be diamond and this to be ruby and the next one to be diamond and next one to be ruby. Yes, you can do that. Just put all the diamond in one layer, all the ruby in one layer, all the yellow gold in one layer, all the white gold in one layer. Whichever that you're going to do, you just put it into separate layer. All right. So the key is when we are assigning the material, let's say I'm gonna have, 2 ring. Let's say my file is like this. I have those 2 ring. I'm going to render together, right? And this I'm going to put into other put in one more And this one, I want to call it white gold. So if I have this into this layer, duplicate the layer, change object layer, and let me put this into the blue color. All right. So when I bring into the rendering, as soon as I assign this material, this will be automatically copy that material because they are the same layer, right? But if I assign this into yellow gold, this won't be affected because it's different layer. And I can assign this into the white gold, that won't affect it to this one. Does that make sense to you guys? So every layer is one material. So we are looking at the material, not the shape or whatsoever. We are looking at the material. Okay, cool. All right. So that is one. And again, if you want them to be different color of the stone, make sure that you assign into a different layer. Okay, cool. All right, so I see a lot of one here, so everybody understand. Now, let's go to the rendering program. The rendering program that I'm going to use, good news, it's completely free. Okay, so this I used to use Rhino rendering, and then I start using a keyshot. And by the way, if you go into my channel, that and you are currently using the keyshot, I have a playlist for keyshot rendering. Keyshot, this guy here. I got 9 video in there, and I will show you all the setting and what I did with the keyshot and things like that. Okay, so those are something if you're interested, and you can go to this playlist. Oops. Go to this playlist, and then it has a lot of video. And also I have a video collaborating this video. Sometimes the keyshot will be really dual for jewelry purpose on the stone wise, right? So Will is an excellent keyshot expert, and so he and I collaborated to creating this video. I create a model, and he do the rendering. And so for you using the keyshot, this is an awesome video for you to watch. All right. So for us now, I use everything with iJewel is because first of all, it's free. And then second of all, it is specific design for jewelry. So it's really easy to use. And I'm going to show you just in a second. All right. Where do you find it? Go to iJewel3D.com. Well, this is not exactly the site we're going to use, but I want to talk about iJewel a little bit. This is a company. Oh, I have no affiliation. I'm just finding a good things I want to share with you guys. This is a company specific design for jewelry. They not just have a rendering, they have a lot of other business use for their application. So for example, they have iJewel Drive that you can share with your client, and you can do the design, you can have them try on, so they will have image you can put your jewelry on, and e-commerce and so forth and so on, right? But what we wanted to do is iJewel has something called iJewel Playground. This is for you and me as a designer. We wanted to do the quick rendering, right? So if you click on the iJewel Playground, or when you Google, just Google iJewel Playground, then it will coming into this page. All right, and then just try out. Let's click on it, and then you should come into a page like that. The one on the left, you have this is environment, and then you also have metal, but you should see something like this. All right, so everybody, let's just take a minute to find, because I do want you to follow me step by step. So everybody go ahead to open this page. It's called iJewel Playground. And let me actually put in the link in the chat room. And then if you are able to open it successfully, type it 2 in the chat room. Type it 2 in the chat room if you are able to open this successfully. And then you should see something like what I'm showing on the screen. And once you're able to open it and see something exactly what I'm showing on the screen, tap it 2. All right, so I see a lot of 2 coming up. Let's give a minute for everybody that you can follow. And plus 10 times 2 delay. Okay, so one disclaimer here, I'm not expert using iJewel, right? If you guys want to know all the detail about like how to fine tune on it, I can invite expert from iJewel to have a stream or making a video for more detail. But they do have a YouTube channel that you can look into it. So let me know if you like me to inviting them and to do a live demo if that is interest you. But let's see what it can do first. All right. So once you open this page, then you're coming into the clean file that we just made, right? So we have in the file that you download that you have rendering demo 1 and rendering demo 2. And what you wanted to do is just drag and drop. Just drag and drop. Then use your left mouse. You should able to rotate like the same thing, like the same way that you did in the Rhino. All right, so just drag and drop. You should able to see something like this. Okay, if you have that successfully, type it number 3 in the chat room. Number 3 in the chat room. So I know that you are follow along and then you see exactly what I show you on the screen. All right, so type it 3 in the chat room. Okay, great. Okay, so for the rendering, first we need to know is how to apply the material, right? How to change the material. The second is your camera, which is the angle that you are looking at. The third one is the environment. So what kind of environment that you have this to be. And one thing is hard for jewelry rendering is because metal, a lot of the time is high polish and it will reflect to the stone. So if I apply the yellow stone, a yellow metal, the stone will look yellow tone if the stone is diamond, right? And so how do you, and the good thing about this program is it has the stone and the metal is different environment. So I'm going to show you just a minute. As soon as you click on the shank, you're going to see the left side, you got 4 available here. The first one is metal gold polish. The second one is rose gold. The third one is white. So basically you got yellow, rose, and white. And the very last one is black and rhodium, black rhodium. So we are going to click on yellow, double click on it. And very soon that you're going to see that this material already applied on it. Cool. All right. How do we apply the stone? We click on the stone. So you're gonna see the stone is highlighted. As soon as you click on it, you take a look on the left side. You have first one is a metal. The second one that we have diamond, right? So you click on the diamond. And you're gonna have this window pop up. Do you want to use separate environment? Yes, we want to use because the environment for the stone is different than this environment for for the metal. So really quickly done, in like 30 seconds, I already finished this rendering. Like very, very basic rendering. How powerful is that, right? And then the beauty of it is the stone, you don't see the metal behind it. It's because they are separate environment. So the metal, the yellow tone doesn't reflect it to the diamond. So my diamonds still look like really bright compared to the the next to it, I have a yellow tone metal on it. iJewel like Keisha, it's really similar, but I think because they are specific design for jewelry, so the rendering for the stone, my experience with the Keisha is always really dull, and I have to do different things like extract the surface and assign the surface into like high polished metal around the stone. But this one is really, really cool. Okay, all right. Now, if you like it or if you're getting into the things on what I see on my screen, type in number 4. Type in number 4 if you follow along, and then you got the same result on your screen here. And the beauty of this is real time. In the key shot that you're gonna see they are become like a really grainy, and then you give it a few minutes, it will sit, and then the image will be clear. This is like real time. All right. Okay. Yeah. Type it number 4 if you see things is similar. Okay. All right. So now what else can we do? Like this look already good, but what if I want my contract is higher or things like that? Under the scenes preset here, you got few things that you can preset, right? So you can try to click on this. All you need to do is just click on this little icon and it will give you a preset, and then make sure that you click no on this box here. Do you want to load the material configuration? No. All right. So you can see the preset. This is already a template there for you to use. So you click on the first one, you get something like that. It's even better contract. You click on this one, you can see there's some harsh lighting. I can even see the light bulb on the ceiling if that fit in yours, because when you are doing the rendering, you want to see what kind of environment that you are into. It's outside or it's inside in the house or it is in the store, which you have a lot of the ceiling light on it. And so you can click on all of this to find like which one you like, right? Like in this one, like a stone look really dull, and I want to click on this one. So the stone have like super high reflection. So if that'll work for you, that's great. Okay, so that's one thing is we set up a material for the metal, we set up for the stone, and then we wanted to, looking into the environment. All right, so that's it. This is good, right? And the next things that you wanted to do is you need to send this to your client, right? So there are 3 different things that you can send it to the client. So first of all, you find a very good angle like this. For example, let's say you like this angle. There's a button right here. You can just capture the screenshot, right? As soon as you capture the screenshot, it will ask you where you want to save it. I want to put it into school life, and I'm just gonna put it here. I already had a name, SS4. So we save it. Then I'm gonna coming into here. What does a SS4 look like? Let's click on it. So really quickly, you got this beautiful rendering. All right, so it's just a screenshot, and you see how fast it. The thing is, I like the speed. You see how fast it is. Hmm? All right. So that is one thing that you can do. You can do all different kind of angle. You can have whatever angle, like side view, front view, whatever view, and then you do screenshot, And then that way that you can send it to your client. All right. The second things that you can send it to your client is you can do an animation, right? So something simple. If you click on this called export, that's showing you like what kind of export you can do. You can do image export like a screenshot that we are doing. You can do PNG, JPEG, or whatsoever. You can do video, all right? And what is cool about this video is you can just do a turntable. Let me see. Video, where's my turntable? Here. Record turntable animation. So you find an angle that you like, and then you hit this one, and it will rotate it as a turntable, like 360-degree, self-centered, and then rotate it, and it will record a video. Now, what I like is the speed. I don't know what they do back end, but the speed for me is faster than the key shot in the quality like this big. So I personally like it. I like everything like technology wise, the speed is always the key for me, right? Imagine that if you need to do, several pieces a day, and this rendering is going to help a lot. All right. So let's come to where does it save? Let's come to here. Recording. All right. We're gonna save it there, and it will ask me save to here. So we're gonna do recording, and then just kind of coming over here on my desktop and take a look on this recording that we just did. So let's play it. Cool, cool. All right. So you see a lot of my YouTube render for my thumbnail recently. I start using the iJewel playground, and because it's fast, it's good quality, it's free. All right. So I hope you like those two. Any questions so far about generated the image? Okay. If you do, type it in the chat room, and if you don't, type it no, so I know we're on the same page. All right, any questions? No? Hmm? Okay, cool, cool. All right. So not only like that, one of the things that I like the most is you are able to send this to the client, like they can watch real time. So what you're going to do is you click on the share, and you save it temporary, which it will save it for 7 days. And then you click on it, it will have a share link, right? So what I wanted to do, or it will save the project first, and then it will give you a link. So let's see, it's saving the project. Maria say, can we do two-piece render, two-piece at the same time, make a video? Yes. It depends on how many pieces that you're putting in here, right? In this case, if you doing two-piece, then the two-piece will show up. Reham say, you're generous with your information explanation. Oh, you are welcome. I just love to share. As a teacher, that's what I do all the time. But I do understand people like to hide it as a secret. But there's no secret in our world. on the internet, and I'll rather share and for you guys to share it back. Tell me like what kind of things that you learn and you do. So always love to see my students work. All right. Video, okay. Video, it might take a little bit longer. It will pop up later. 490. Moonwalk, welcome, welcome. All right. So the oh, it's still saving project. Probably because I didn't log in. But I do wanted to show you another things. Hopefully the link will come up. I do wanted to show you another things. You guys see this like emerald here. This is actually the new release from the emerald. If you click on the emerald, oh, it's locked. Is it locked? Oh, it's locked. Let me see. Oh, okay. I wanted to show you what does it look like on a paid version. Like this. Okay, you see the differences is I have a lot more setting, and of course, if I click on this material, you're gonna see a lot more metal there. You even have like the texture one that you can do, like scratch, hammer texture, or this green metal. I guess it's anodized aluminum, or why go with the hammer mark? Like, let's see, scratch or hammer mark, like different type of a scratch, right? So if you have a different finish than polish, then this might be, and then you want them to showing in your piece. This might be something that you wanted to looking into it. All right, but basically, let's say if I have this yellow gold and I don't have this pay version, but I do like different color, what can you do with it, right? So first of all, oh, hold on. Let me see if I can do a better share here. If I want to save it temporary and I wanted to, oh, it's faster. For some reason, the other one doesn't go through. Let me just turn this off. All right. So what I'm going to do, assuming you guys are my client, I'm going to copy this, putting into the chat, and go ahead to click on the link I put into the chat, and you're going to see this. Imagine that your client can see a real render and they can flip it. And by the way, I only give them 7 days. So they have to make a decision in 7 days. All right. So let me know if you click on the link and you can see exactly this on your screen. Imagine if you send a link to your client, you are able for them to rotate it with a real render. Isn't that cool? I love it. Sometimes the screenshot on the Rhino, they look like so machine, and the client just don't get it. The texture. All right. So the question is, how do you make different texture for the Rhino design? A lot of the time, if the texture is like scratch or something, you don't want to make that into, your model. It will be too deep. And after you polish, it's not going to see, right? So that's why we need rendering, then we can assign the scratch material. But if you like hammer mark, it actually you have physically a dip into it, then yes, you need to creating the texture in your model. And I do have a playlist for texturing and talking about all different kind of texture that you can use. So go to my channel, go to the playlist, and you will find the one with texture. Very cool, right? Yeah, I know. Isn't it excited that computer is helping us to for better communication? All right. For me, it's all about communication. The more detail you can communicate with your client, the easier they confirm the design they want. Then you can go ahead and cast and finish the project and move on to the next one, right? So rendering for me is communication. All right. So I think there's no miscommunication if they get this link, right? Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Now I wanted to talk about like how do you change something, right? So I had this yellow goal and I do want it to be more yellower or less yellowish or more into different tone. So what can you do? All right, so here is how you're going to do it. On that view, the first one on the view, on your right side, you see this viewer, right? The second one is called picking. All right, second one is called picking. Now, on the second one, you have some choice right here. All right, the first one that we wanted to pick is this one called picker. So the picker will show whichever one that you pick, it will show the detail right here, right? So when I not select anything right here, the picker doesn't show anything. As soon as I click on the metal, you're going to see there's a name here. You click on it, and that is everything else you can fine tune for this metal, right? So what is the quicker one that we wanted to do? We want to move it down to the bottom. This is a physical material. It was like this. It was like this. And then you click on this little icon. Then you're going to see this physical material. Now, there's a color right there. We can move it to the right side to make it more yellowish or less yellowish or whatever that you think the tone that you want to change to, right? So go ahead to try. And again, where is it? It's under picker. You have to select the material first. All right. So under the picker, you go down to the physical material and then you can change the material color so you can make your go into the tone that you like. Cool. I believe so. Vegeta that you can render with the watch. All right, so if you are able to change the color, type it number five. Number five in the chat room. If you are able to see the color. By the way, on my website, well, since you mentioned about watches, I wanted to show you what I did on the watches. If you go to pjchendesign.com, one of the things that I did is the watch back design. So those are really cool. This is a limited edition with watch company with the Shanola, and they were doing like Albin is not the first but the fourth astronaut go on the moon in the United States. And when he came back, he became the artist. So he painted what he see the Earth from the moon, right? So my job is to transfer his painting into the watch back, case back design. And so with all the low relief. And I did everything in the Rhino, this in the Rhino, right? I also did this, again, is a watch back design. Burton is a legend for sport. And then for like what's that called? Ski sport. And then I did I did this partially with the Rhino and also the ZBrush. And also this one is again the limited edition watch back design, and I designed this for Statues of the Liberty watch. All right, every single thing is in the Rhino. Oh, beside the hand. So it's really cool that you can do a lot of things with the Rhino. All right, so okay, so back to this. Sorry, I'm off the topic again. All right, so what else can you do? And can you change the stone, right? In your version, you only have like four of them, like four things that you can do. What about I want to have ruby? And I do have a ruby here to play with, but you don't have, right? So what can I do? So let's say we are come back here with the diamond. All right. Again, we click on it. We go to picker, right? And then under the picker, uh, under under the picker, then you got diamond material. Under the color, let's do red. And all of a sudden, you got ruby. Or you want sapphire. Oh, that's too purple for sapphire. Ooh, something like this, right? You want a citrine, then you go in here. You want a peridot, you go in here, right? So there's a lot of choice you can do. You can choose any color. So even though you are on the free version, that's okay. Then you can still change the stone color. All right, go ahead and try it. Assign the diamond first, and coming into the picker, under the picker you got diamond material, and you can change the color for it. All right, so if you are able to do it, type in number 6. Number 6. If you are able to do it. All right, cool, cool. All right, so I see 6 coming up. And then if something happened on your side and then you don't see this right now, that's okay. Don't panic. 48 hours later or 24 hours later, this video will have it replay. All right. Let me see how many people is here. We got 38 watches now. Oh, less than last two. I mean, next time I'm not going to do a replay, so everybody have to come into live. What's that? How's that sound? And for you already being here, oh, I got 42 now. For you already being here, please go ahead to click on the like button. Do it a favor for me, like it right now, and share it later. So like it, like it now. All right. So one of the good feature that iJewel released not long ago, this is I believe it's in the pay version, is that they can have inclusion. Like a lot of time when we have emerald and the emerald look too bright, and then your client's like, it doesn't look like my metal, right? Doesn't look like my stone, right? So you can have inclusion of it. Isn't that cool? Like you can have inclusion, and the best thing is you can change the inclusion. You can rotate it. You can I think this is really cool, and the Keyshot doesn't have it, right? So you can rotate your inclusion. You can rotate the inflection, and you can also change the inclusion if you want to. So coming into the inclusion, you can make them more blur. You can change the inclusion map if you want to. So there's a lot of things that you can do, right? So you can change the reflection and things like that. And again, I'm not a rendering person. It is a special skill, but I appreciate it. iJewel actually spend time on those tiny detail, and it does help for our on our side for us to communicate with our client. right? So if you are super into the rendering, looking into this program, I think it's going to save you a lot of time. And try to do something like this, right? Awesome, awesome. Okay. All right. So that is one things. And another things I want to open another iJewel again. And by comparison, we wanted to bring in our second demo file because I do wanted to show you something different. Let's go to my YouTube and let's do rendering demo number 2. Angela say video will be there to view later. Oh yeah, I was joking. I'll put it up there. Don't worry. Okay. So go ahead to apply the material. Now I'm the material expert, right? So I click on it and I click on the stone. I wanted to do and by the way, you have ceramic and you have pro. Um and you have other whatever those material used for the cabochon. But anyway, let's go back with something simple. So I got Ruby here. All right, cool, cool. So one of the concept for the rendering I wanted to, oh, you see? Ha. But anyway, one of the concept I want to talk about in the rendering is if I'm looking at the render view on this one, you see this is like really sharp and look so machine, right? So what happened if I giving a little bit radius? I wanted to do something like this. Let me put another layer. For you to understand the rendering is I'm going to have something like this and making a copy really quick like this, like for comparison. We want to looking at those two edges here, right? Like first one, you have really sharp edges. The second one, I'm just gonna give it a fillet and very small fillet, like 0.2 millimeter. That's super small, right? Okay, and then for both of them, let's take a look on the render view, right? The white, it doesn't show much. I want to see something in the reflection, so I use the iJewel really quickly to get it into this. Now, compare those two edges here. You see this edges, it's like 90 degrees sharp, right? So you see this is really machine. But if you take a look on this, any radius is going to catch light. You see this is more realistic, right? So that's why whenever it's possible, we want to have a little bit radius on all our models so that way that your render will look nicer, right? Having tiny radius, compare this one to this one, you see the huge difference, right? This definitely on the right side, it's going to make your rendering look better, right? But sometimes when we have complex piece and we try to do the fillet, it always end up with the naked edges, right? Here's what you can do in the rendering. So I'm going to zoom in into into here. Okay, okay. Oh, into here. All right, so it's easier for you to see. I can apply the fake radius on all the edges, right? So what we wanted to do is we want to coming into this like a star. This is called post processing, and then you have this one's called SS bevel, right? You click on it. You want to enable sync bevel. So you're going to apply this to every single model that you have. You see that? You see that beautiful, nice catching light, very tiny radius, even in between those two shapes here. it have that tiny radius is going to catch your light. Like compare this one and this one. And of course, I like this one better, right? And the beauty of it, you don't have to fit it all the edges. Bend the prong. I think I have a video for that. It's on my YouTube channel. Uh, if you go to my channel and then you just search bend prong. See how to bend prong. It's number 496. That I show you different way to bend prong. Gaming time. I think this will help you. Okay. All right. So back to this. If you are able to use SS bevel, please type it number 7. ChatGPT hell. That's an interesting name. You say I'm number 1. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So type it 7 if you are able to use SS bevel to get this tiny radius to make your rendering look better. ChatGPT hell. It's hard to tell you like ChatGPT or not. Okay, cool. All right, what else can we make our rendering look nicer? I'm going to make it a bit smaller like this. All right, so that's it. This is the angle that I like, right? And what I wanted to do is you coming into here, you got something is called vignette. I don't know if I pronounce correct. And you want to enable. So that will give you this like a old time photo outer to be dark. You can change to white or change if it is like too much. You can change to light gray color or something like that, right? So inside is white, outside it's a little bit darker. It's kind of giving a focus, giving a little bit artistic tweak on it, right? If that is something that you like, right? So go ahead and try vignette. Go ahead to enable it. You can change the color. You can make it like, I don't know why, but maybe that is the style you're going for. And then you can change that. All right. So if you are able to do that, type it number 8. Maria is asking, do I need to do that on the Rhino when printing? Are you talking about fitted? If you can, yes. If you cannot, it's okay. Because what depends on the size of the fillet. If the fillet is so small like this, in the physical piece, after you casting, you get on the buffing machine, it already will give you like very tiny radius. In fact, everything in our world has a radius, even though it's knife edges, right? So the knife has that fillet too. It's just the fillet is big or small. And if it is big, you definitely need to do a fillet, right? Because let's say I'm going to do a comparison here so for you to understand. I'm gonna do 2 fillet here. This fillet on the right, polish can achieve. This fillet on the left, you have to physically sand it off or doing the CAD so you have less sanding. So I hope that answered your questions, Maria. All right, so I see people typing 8. You can do the vignette, right? Now, I also wanted to show you something that make your rendering look a little bit more dramatic. So I'm gonna cancel the vignette. And let's say I want a depth of a field. And what depth of a field, if you are a photographer, also, you play with the camera, you probably know that you wanted to foreground is clear and the background is vague, right? So let's say this is an engagement ring. I want to have a big old diamond on the top. So the design in the back is not as important in the front. I want people focus at the front, right? So what we wanted to do is I want to coming over to the right side, and again we are under that star, right? And you see there's a one. Let me turn it off. Everything else. You see this one's called depth of the field. Depth of the field. Right. You click on it, and all of a sudden everything is kind of blur right there. All right. So my goal is to make those two stone clear and rest of the things a little bit blur. I want to enable edit, right? And I want to click on my stone, and voila, that you are seeing the stone, it's crystal clear, but the back is a little bit blur. So people will more focus on the top of the design. All right, so go ahead and try depth of the field. And if that worked for you, please type in 9 in the chat room. Type in 9 in the chat room if depth of the field worked for you. And of course, you can play with like how much you want it to be clear. You can kind of play with those bars. I'll leave it that to you. I think they have showing on their website for the price, so you can check on their website later on. For XD, you're asking me about the price, right? I think free version is great, unless you are super particular in some like type of things. And I'm showing on the pay version is because I wanted to show you the differences. But what you can do in the free version is just need to tweak a little bit for our purpose. Okay, so I got a lot of 9 here. Excellent, excellent. All right. So what else can we do? You see on my YouTube channel recently, if you go to see those video, and I do a lot of this type of a rendering. Anything in this background, it's all in the iJewel. Hmm. All right. The older one that you can see is in the Keysha. Like those are in the Keysha. But the newer one that you see is in the iJewel. So how do you change the background? The key is I have this white background, right? And then so what I can do is I can come into the background and I can pick up the color that fit for it. Let me turn off the depth of field. Okay. There's a ground. Let me see. Let me see if I can get a background color. Okay, it's better. I just changing the scene and then adding the color. So you can change the background color to be, some people like to have this gradation. Some people have this look like Tiffany style, something like this, something like this. And of course you can custom into your own color. All right. So then you can add in the background that you like. One more thing to show your client, if it is a engagement ring, and I think this is cool that you can actually put them into a ring box or something like that. So I'm gonna have it run a little bit, something like this. And you can click them and move them down later on, but that's one of the choice that you can do as a stage, right? They have something really interesting, like this guy right here. There's a column next to it. I don't know why, but interesting idea. It's just like having different setup for different needs. Okay. So something like that, you can have the prop. They were sitting on a box or something, right? So many things that you can play with. And I think that's what I would like to cover for today's rendering, and just give you a recap that we were talking about how to prepare your file and separate them into the different layer, and how do you bring into the iJewel playground. And in the iJewel playground, how do you assign the material, change the material color, do the environment within 1 hour. Yeah. I will cut it off the extra that I was talking within 1 hour. So I think our timing is great. I'm going to now open it to other questions that you may have, whether it's for today's demo or it is for, other thing related to the jewelry program. Yes, you can save it. Let's say you already changing this, but I forgot how to save it. uh, Something about add the configuration. Oh yeah, and then you can giving a name, and you can save it there. Something about this. All right, so that's something that you can do if you wanted to, adding your custom material. Okay. 490 say thank you very much. Oh, let me put this one here so I don't miss you. Uh, you are very welcome. I'm so glad to interact with you guys. Go ahead to click on the like button, you guys. Help me to ranking on my YouTube. David say, nice to find a new rendering app. Thank you. You are very welcome. Um, Sasha say, do you have a referral code for the iJewel? I can X them. No, I don't so far, but maybe in the future I'll work with them more closely. Sophia, Sophia, don't worry, you can watch the replay later. Yes, the box is in the premium. So, but I do want to show you guys what is in the premium. Maybe you want it, maybe you don't need it, right? So Reham, yes, the box is in the premium. Jesus say thank you very much. You are very welcome. All right. Uh, how can I make the zoom in, zoom out, and different camera view video? They do have the they do have export video, and I think they have. You might need to study here a little bit. You can have them ease in, ease out, flying in and out, and things like that. So that might be something for you to study. Oh, by the way, iJewel, if you go on the YouTube, they do have a channel. iJewel 3D is the channel name. And then they have some demo, like awesome demo here that you can look into it. It's like you can, let's say you have the same ring, wanted to be different material, you put them into the batch and they all look the same. For commercial purpose, a lot of people will need that. So you can do that here. The same ring in different material. So check out their check out their, they only have 1.12K subscriber. They should have a lot more, right? So this is the program that I'm using now, and I very much enjoy it. And then you can watch their YouTube. All right. And then you're very welcome, you guys. I'm glad to share. And please like and share my video so I can reach more people, help more people. Okay. So any other questions that you guys have? If not, um, moonwork. Thank you. Try my best. Even though I have accents, but I'm proud of my accents. I'm original from Taiwan. Being in the United States for 20 something years. But I still have my accent. I think an accent is showing where you are, who you are and where you're from. David say thank you. Thank you, you guys. Isn't that cool? And another things before we finish, and I would like to see if you guys will be interested in whether video or another live stream that I invite iJewel people, expert to coming here to show more trick about how to use this program. Again, I'm not an expert in this program yet. I'm just using it and I feel like, oh, this is so cool. And I want to share with you guys. If you do, type it 10 in the chat room. So I know there's a needs. So type it 10 in the chat room if you like me to invite it iJewel people expert to do more demo. And you promise you're going to show up. Okay. Type it 10. I believe you have to change everything into the uh, nerve surface. I haven't tried mesh yet. Maybe mesh will work too. You could probably get a sponsorship. Maybe I should. I should. Uh, Okay, so and also I'm going to send out a survey soon for whoever signed up and kind of want to get a feedback. What do you feel about the doing the live stream? Is because it's my first time doing the live stream, and I wonder how do you like it compared to just watching my video. How do you like the interaction and how do you like the topic? So I may want to send out a survey for whoever signed up for the boot camp, right? So when you see the survey, please, it will take only few minutes to fill it out. And I will try to see if I can schedule a time with the iJewel and see if they were willing to do a video or live stream with me. Okay, so that is concluding for what we have today, and I really appreciated your coming, and I think our timing is good. If you have further questions and or do you like to know more about my program, how I help other students, my website is p triple w pjchan design.com. And if you have questions about the course, everything is in there. Or if you like to email me, pj@pjchandesign.com. If you have questions about the course, don't know which one fit for you, this is my email, and you can write me an email. I will be happy to answer, your question. Oh, I spelling wrong. Sorry. PJ Chen. PJCHEN. All right, so you can screenshot this. All right, so either email me or check out my online for the course for any of the questions that you may have. All right, so that is for today. Thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll do it again in the future. And then looking to seeing your feedback from the survey form that I am going to send it out. Have a great weekend. I will see you next. Bye bye.